Hi, this is Vincent from Terrapin. I'm here with Robin Korman from Wyndham. How are you doing today, Robin?
Great, thanks.
Hey, so I'm here. Basically, we just had to finish up the first day of Loyalty World USA. Robin, tell us a little about yourself and what you do at Wyndham.
I manage the loyalty program globally, and I also manage partnerships for the hotel group there.
All right. And over the last year, what have you seen has been the biggest innovations in the loyalty for the hotel sector?
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a hard question. I think generally most hotel companies are really trying to create great customer experiences. I think most of us have recognized that the points program, the points piece of the programs can only go so far, and that what loyal customers and those who are on the road for very long periods of time really want is recognition and a great experience, and also ways that they can use their points in really experiential ways. So we've seen a lot of the growth of focus on CRM and trying to customize and personalize the experience at the hotel, as well as the growth of ways that you can use your points outside the traditional free night.
Okay. And in terms of partnerships, how has that really helped out in terms of the recognition factor?
In terms of partnerships, I think that was expressed earlier in one of the presentations that partnerships can really bring uniqueness to your brand. So if you're, you have a hotel program like many in the industry, partnering with a particular partner who can enhance your experience or create a halo effect for you can create differentiation from your competition, and often be attractive to people who like that partner's offerings or products or services. So you see a lot more partnering going on, a lot more desire to create a little bit more of a proprietary experience.
So in terms of recognition, how would you define recognition?
Well, recognition happens both centrally from the program to the individual, and clearly in some ways that's easier because we all have great databases and CRM capabilities and personalization of emails and direct mail pieces. So that piece of the puzzle is actually fairly easy for most sophisticated programs to execute. I think the hard part is actually creating that great experience at the hotel level. Depending upon the systems that a hotel has, it may be easy or difficult to communicate to the hotel what that particular guest wants or likes. And so having all of your franchisees or your owners able to tailor that experience at the point of arrival and throughout the stay is a really big challenge for most hotel companies that are large, and especially if they have a large franchisee community versus owning or managing their own hotels.
So what do you feel has been the biggest win, so far in terms of customer recognition? What do you feel, in terms of innovation, in terms of taking it to the next level? What do you feel has really been helpful in terms of really raising the bar in terms of customer engagement and appreciation?
Well, I do think that very sophisticated data systems, I think there's been a lot of conversation at this conference around a lot of data, less ability to analyze and act on that data. I do think most hotel companies and most companies in general are getting better at actually determining what is the data that they need to action against, and then being able to take the data, that's the most relevant, and being able to tailor offers based on people's past behavior or other things that you know about them. And I think it's still an evolution for most companies. I think, certain companies are farther ahead of the curve than others. But I do think that many companies are making a lot of strides in making sure that the cadence of their offers, the kinds of offers they make, and the ROI on those offers is being analyzed so that they can actually continuously improve.
So how many people are currently dedicated in terms of your team to these initiatives?
I have about 22 people that work on the program overall, but that's not only the marketing part of it, but also the operational part of it, and the training and the financial management and the partnerships area. And then we have a couple of folks that are in divisions overseas that localize the program specifically for the regions for Europe, Africa, Middle East, as well as for Asia Pacific. So I think the other piece is that programs need to be tailored to the regions in which they play, because always coming with a U.S.-centric vision doesn't always work in other countries, and especially if those cultures haven't evolved to the sort of more mature state that we see in the U.S. and Canada.
And then from an operational standpoint, so you said you have 22 people on your team right now, plus other people set up regionally. How much can this all be done with still the same amount of people? Looking forward, a few years ahead, is this something where, for people who want to really make a big impact in customer engagement, that it's going to take more than just an elite team of a few? It's going to take...
Well, I think it depends. I mean, in some ways, automation makes things easier, so the more that you're able to automate your processes, but then, work always, the more that my team can take on, and at the point where they automate a process, then I'll just find something else that they can they can do. So I think, we're coming out of a recession. Most companies have either slimmed down their staffs or are operating certainly on a fairly lean basis now. We try not to overstaff so that we don't have to unstaff when the economy changes. But, I think the appetite for what you want to do leads you to decide if you've got enough staff to do it or to prioritize based on, the staff that you have. And I think as we globalize, our program is in about 30 or 40 countries, but as we decide we want to tailor the program more specifically, we probably will need to add staff internationally to kind of manage that.
Okay. So in terms of the conference, what's been your favorite presentation so far?
I think they all have something to offer. I think that it's very interesting to come to conferences and learn how other people are approaching problems that are very similar to yours. I think certainly the MGM presentation was interesting to me because it's in a similar space to the one that I operate in, but yet the kind of customer and the kind of budgets and the ability to really create wow experiences I envy, because I just don't have, Cirque du Soleils and Shark Tanks and things like that to offer up to my members. And I think they've done an amazing job, in a really short period of time, really trying to figure out how to appeal to a really broad section of customers, because their hotel clientele is probably very broad, given that they have everything all the way from Circus all the way up to the high end. And I thought the Facebook was always, it's always interesting to understand kind of what's under the hood at Facebook, although they'll never tell you anything terribly proprietary. I think it's always interesting to understand how they approach the market, how they think about the market. So I would say that, those were two that stood out for me, but I think all of them, provide good learning and good understanding of different ways of approaching loyalty.
All right. Well, Robin, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to your presentation tomorrow.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.